New India Assurance Company has announced recruitment of apprentices. Is it a regular recruitment? What is the background?
Dear comrades and members, greetings to all subscribers of Voice for Public Sector YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about one important subject of the public sector general insurance companies. Yesterday, that is on 23rd of September, All India Insurance Employees Association has announced a campaign among the employees as well as submission of representation to all the regional in charges of New India Assurance Company Limited. The purpose of the representation is to show our opposition to the recruitment of apprentices in New India Assurance Company, which is a public sector general insurance company. The background of this scheme, the recruitment of apprentices, when we go to the history, in the year 1961, an act was passed in the parliament called as the Apprentices Act 1961. That act mandates the industries which employ more than 30 workers or 30 employees to recruit apprentices and train them. In order to recruit and to train them, this act was enacted, which is called as the Apprentice Act 1961, and the purpose of the act is to regulate and train the apprentices as per the rules and regulations of the that are framed by the central government time to time. In this background only, this Apprentice Act was enacted in the year 1961. Subsequently, when the act was enacted, it was meant only for the engineers and graduate engineers and diploma holders of engineering discipline. Subsequently, in the year 2019, the act was amended and it was extended to include BA, BCom, BSc, BBA graduates also, and the government made it as a mandatory to all the establishment to recruit these graduates also in their firms, in their establishments. So because of that amendment in the year 2019, the rules were framed in 2020-21, and from 2022, the government started pressurizing the public sector units as well as government departments, in some government engineering department and other department also, to recruit apprentices in their establishment. So because of that amended rule, New India was also forced to recruit apprentices, and that's why the circular has come through the advertisement 1 week back, and that is why we oppose this recruitment of apprentices. This recruitment is done through a sector called as BFSI SSC, a banking, financial sector, insurance sector, skill council. So this skill council is authorized to recruit the apprentices on behalf of the New India Assurance Company. Through their portal only, the candidates are going to apply for the apprentice recruitment of apprentice, appointment of apprentice. There are 38 councils under the Ministry of Skill Development and the Ministry of Education, and BFSI SSC is one of the council which is earmarked for recruitment of these apprentices. If you go to the telecom sector, there is another skill council called as Telecom Training Skill Council. Likewise, there are 38 skill councils are there through which the recruitment has been done. These skill councils, under the banner of board, that is called as Board of Apprentice Training, they pressurize the insurance companies and the banking sector to recruit the apprentices in the respective sector. So this is not a regular recruitment. This is a temporary recruitment. This is an apprenticeship only for the purpose of training. They are recruiting the people, which we oppose vehemently.
Why do AIA oppose this scheme?
AIA per se is not opposed to the appointment of apprentices. AIA is opposed to the appointment of apprentices because of the following reasons. Number one, they are going to pay a paltry sum of 4,500 rupees from the New India Assurance Company and 4,500 rupees from the Government of India, and the total amount is only 9,000 rupees, which is less than the minimum wage. And number two, the New India Assurance Company did not made it very clear in their recruitment notice that these apprentices who are going to be recruited for a period of 1 year will not be absorbed in the company after completion of 1 year. They will be sent out. Is a clear guideline or clear wordings that has been put in the recruitment circular. So we oppose. Per se, I said we are not opposed to apprentices. Apprentices are not new to the public sector general insurance company. in the year 1989 to 96, 89 to 96, there were people who joined us, the company as apprentices, and they have become the deputy general manager by this time in the public sector general insurance industry. So they were absorbed after completion of 1 year. So per se, we are not opposed to apprentices, but we want the government, we want the management to make it clear that this apprenticeship can be extended to more than 1 year also, 2 years, 3 years, but there should be a guaranteed of absorption of these apprentices after completion of 1 year. This is what we demand from the management and the government. That is why we oppose the management and the government. So third thing is the fees that they have to pay for this 1 year, of job, for this 9,000 rupees, they have to apply and they have to pay a fees of 800 rupees, and the government is not kind enough to exempt the GST for this 800 rupees also. They are charging 18% GST on this 800 rupees also, which is again it's going to a blow on the unemployed youth of this country. So we oppose this. And then fourth thing is the timing of this timing for these people. They have to work from morning 9:30 to 6:30. The regular working hours for the public sector general insurance employees is between 10 and 5:45. But these apprentices are going to be or will be made to work from 9:30 to 6:30. This also we oppose. So on the part of salary, there is an exploitation. On timing, there is an exploitation. There is no guarantee, there is no social security. That's why AEA opposes this apprenticeship scheme, and we demand the government and the management to formulate a new policy which can be done, which the New India can easily do given the provision in the Apprenticeship Act 1961. Section 22 of the Apprenticeship Act talks about the formulation of policy for the apprentices. After completion of their apprenticeship period, they can be observed in the company if the management decides to observe them. There is a provision in the Act. So there is no bar for the New India Assurance Company to make the provision in the apprenticeship recruitment notice and observe these employees, these apprentices after completion of 1 year. That is why AE opposes and requests the management to make some changes, and for that only we submitted the representation yesterday, that is on 23rd of September, across the country to all the New India in charges as well as to the CMD of the New India Assurance Company.
What is the motive behind this recruitment?
Behind this announcement, behind this notification, we have to understand the intention of the current government. Since 2014, the government is not able to provide employment opportunities to the unemployed youth of this country. In 2017-18, a data of the CMI, a Committee for Monitoring Indian Economy, the recent data says in the year 2017-18, the periodic labor force participation, that is the number of people who are participating in the actual employment, was around 43.7% in the year 2017-18. It has come down to 39.5% in the year 2022-23. That is, every year the PLFS, the Periodic Labor Participation Force Survey, when they go for a survey, the survey says that the number has come down, the actual employment has come down. The CMA also published the data on unemployment, which says the current unemployment rate is 7.6% when compared to 4.7% in the year 2017-18. So when the government is not able to provide employment opportunities to the unemployed youth, the government is trying to use all these methods of contractual employment, apprentices, internship to show the people that we have provided the skill, we have provided the employment to this much of youth in this country. So this is a camouflaging of the real problem in the country today. That is why we say when the government has announced 2 lakh crores in the employment linked scheme in the recent budget, they will oppose that employment linked incentive scheme, which is nothing but transferring of 2 lakh crore to the corporates and asking the corporates, requesting the corporates to give some employment to the ordinary youth of this country. See, this is a typical case of what the famous quote of Galbraith says: feed the horses with the best of the oatmeal so that the crows can have a dung on the feast. The crows can have a feast on the dung of the horses. So that way this government is trying to feed the horses with the oatmeal, means feed the corporates with huge amount of incentives and other schemes, and they are asking the corporates to give small employment to the ordinary people, youth, which is also not taking place in reality. So this government intention has to be opposed. The government can instead spend the 2 lakh crore on infrastructure. The government can instead spend on the 2 lakh crore on many public sector projects so that actual employment generation can be done for the unemployment youth in this country, which the government refused to do through to the dictates of their masters, because since they are following the new economic policies, they do not want to deviate from the new economic policies, and they follow the path of this new economic policy, which is causing misery to the crores and crores of the youth in this country today. The AIA, All India Insurance Employees Association, finally demand the following. Number one, when you recruit the apprentices, pay them the salary, gross salary of an assistant in the public sector general insurance industry. The stipend should be equivalent to the gross salary of an assistant in the industry. Number one. Number two, after completion of 1 year, there should be an absorption program for the New India Assurance Company Limited and other PSJ companies to absorb all the apprentices as regular assistants in the public sector general insurance companies. Number three, the timing, the working hours for the apprentices should be from 10 to 5:45 or 6 o'clock only. It should not be from 9:30 to 6:30. So we oppose these exploitative methods of the New India Assurance Company and the other public sector general insurance company towards the apprentices. We also request all the employees and officers to raise their voice against this exploitative practice of the public sector general insurance companies. We have to be very alert. We have to keep our eyes and ears open against this type of exploitation, and we should raise our voice and we should struggle to end this exploitation. Otherwise it will be a bomb inside the public sector general insurance company which may explode at any point of time. So we also request the government to stop these type of measures, not to absolve the responsibility of providing jobs to the unemployed youth. They have to provide proper employment, permanent employment with some social security measures to the unemployed youth, which alone pay for the growth of the Indian economy, or whatever target that you set. Target of 5 trillion economy or 10 trillion economy, if that has to be achieved, there should be permanent employment with some social security measures. Only when you give some permanent employment, the purchasing power of the people will go up. Only when the purchasing power of the people goes up, then there will be a production in the country, and only when the production goes up, your GDP rises, and also consequently other things also take place. Without increasing the purchasing power, without providing the employment to the youth of this country, it is very difficult to improve the country or to dream of a 5 trillion economy or 10 trillion economy of India. So this is what we want to say, and we appeal to all employees and officers to raise their voice against this exploitative method, and we also appeal to the unemployed youth to raise their voice in the streets against these type of exploitative methods of recruitment. Thank you.